Did you ever have a political conversation that went well? I don't mean one where everybody hugged it out and miraculously agreed on everything, just one that was civil, or didn't end prematurely because it was getting uncomfortable. Those kinds of outcomes seem increasingly rare. Most advice about political discussions is either to avoid it altogether or strive to be more respectful, listen more, and don't make it personal. Good manners are great, but the real problem isn't how people talk about politics. It's how they think about it. Most political conversations operate on a hidden assumption that the speaker's view of reality is simply correct. Not a perspective, not an interpretation. Correct. And when you're certain you're right, your language reflects it. Absolutes, hardened assertions, no room for nuance. That's not a communication problem, that's a thinking problem. Bad thinking leads to sloppy language, and sloppy language digs trenches. Here are a few. Always, never, absolutely. There are plenty more where those came from. They all do the same thing. They signal certainty. And certainty slams the door on any real exchange. Then there's a second category. Words and phrases that disguise themselves as arguments but are really just preemptive strikes. Obviously, there's no question. The fact is, each one implies that disagreement isn't a difference of perspective. It's a sign of stupidity. But these are just the pea shooters. There's a bigger weapon, with a much larger blast radius. What's worse than words that signal absolute certainty? Words that ascribe motives. At some point, we've all done this, or been on the receiving end of it. They only do that because they're X. Pick your epithet: greedy, racist, evil, ignorant. It shuts down discussion. And if we're being honest, that's often the point. Observing behavior is easy. Determining intent is not. This move shifts the argument from the issue to the person and renders the other side's position illegitimate without ever engaging with it. It might feel good in the moment, but it's usually a sign there's nothing there. If cheap tricks were enough, you wouldn't be here. The real fix isn't language, it's something else. Robin Williams once said, "Reality, what a concept." It got laughs. It was also completely serious. Reality is complex, uncertain, too many variables, too many unknowns, too many second and third order effects to pretend you have it figured out. And yet, our beliefs and worldviews tend toward the opposite: binary, dogmatic, either or, good or bad, right or wrong, smart or stupid. When you enter a conversation already certain that outcomes are obvious, trade-offs are settled, and the future is already known, you're not having a discussion, you're delivering a verdict. So are political conversations between people who disagree doomed to fail? No, but it requires something most people would rather skip: intellectual humility. Acknowledging that your worldview, however well-formed, is not the same thing as reality. It's the mental map, not the territory. This isn't about changing what you believe. It's about honestly calibrating how certain you actually are. When you do that, genuinely, not as a performance, your language changes. You stop saying obviously and absolutely because your thinking is more nuanced. Genuine change means thinking in shades of gray, not black and white. Easy to say, hard to do. But trying to be more deliberate can reinforce that shift while it's happening. Here's how. Stop speaking in absolutes. "This will never work" becomes, "This might not work." "That's obviously wrong" becomes, "I don't see it that way." "Everyone knows" becomes, "Some people think." It's not about changing your position. It's about being more accurate and creating space. Space for uncertainty, space for questions, space for an honest exploration of ideas. And stop ascribing motives. Stick to what you observe. Leave intent alone. Not everyone will want to engage this way. There's not much you can do about that. But at least you'll know the difference between someone willing to explore ideas and someone who isn't. Robin Williams was right. Reality is a great concept. It's also a better place to have a conversation. If you're absolutely sure you want to hear more about better thinking, subscribe. This is a big topic. There's a lot more to explore. Have you ever caught yourself using any of these words, or been on the receiving end of them? Drop it in the comments.